Give it up for Kirsty! Oh, that's high, isn't it? Using a peg, because I'm a hipster. Alright, so I'm going to do 3 poems tonight. The first one, this is too loud. The first one is called Do You See Glass? I used to think I was priceless, rejecting others, declining lovers disguised as lifeboats on lonely lakes. I bypass these mistakes with polite, coy, bashful, sorry, but no, thank you. Disappointed eyes, full of embarrassment, sometimes resentment stared back. Rejection is never nice. Many a time my heart was enticed, but I knew I had to be cruel to be kind, because in them I would never find the counterpart to my value. Look, don't get me wrong, I'm not better than them. But I wanted a love no less than a 10 out of 10, so I waited. Silent singleton, shadowing corners of couple-filled rooms, engulfed in fumes of fake romance. Tinder tryharders, avoiding empty beds and meaningless posts on Facebook threads, muttering instead, suppose they'll do, because any interaction is a better distraction than listening to the unsatisfied voices in our heads. So you see, I truly thought I was priceless. One of the unusual few. Swimming against currents, fighting against tides, a rare diamond in the rough. Not made of disposable stuff like most millennials, not biding time, but proudly own in mind this space, my inner life, rich, rife, ready and waiting for you. And it was worth the wait. When your lips touched mine for the first time, I heard nothing. Not muffled traffic. Not hollering from friends, not even shouts of, oi, get in the Uber, bring him back to your ends. Instead, I thanked my lucky stars and said my amens, because I finally found a priceless price tag too. One which tasted like nectar from God. Skin so soft, I swear it was made of powder. Laughs got louder, drowning insecurities as we teased one another for hours on end, forgetting problems, living for shared weekends. Lazy days turned into drunken, fumbled nights. We shrugged off petty fights with velvet kisses, gentle whispers of, you're my favourite. I'd never felt so expensive. Forget cloud nine, in you I had a whole sky to call mine. Not butterflies in stomachs, but entire zoos in guts. With one look you cut into my soul, into my core. With one stare you brought into me truth, honesty, real love, the kind which soars high above lust and admiration, with no expectation, zero desperation, pure fascination, heart palpitations. We clutched to future plans, shared dreams as yesterdays melted behind us. The blind, leading the blind, every time, fingers entwined, re-resigned, troublesome minds, overwhelming at times, feeling so powerful, so newly formed, their might replaced gales gusting in midnight storms like warriors, beating bare chests to enraging winds. Instead of drowning vulnerability in man-made sins, we composed ourselves, steadied you in my arms, uttered 3 potent words, vocalizing what we both felt inside. I love you. Silence. In lowly tones, you meekly muttered, where you envision seeds, I'm starting to witness weeds, dragging at the roots of my growth, a growth I yearn to grow alone. I waited for a punchline that never came. Instead, you broke my gaze. Questions thicker than mayonnaise, clogged throat, acid chokes, flames untamed as shame swamped my brain. Panic. Sorry, am I not good enough? Not valuable enough, a bit rough, potential enough for you to give it a go, but not worthy enough to stay for the final show. You pulled away. Now, I thought you were my linchpin. Was I just the one that breaks you in for someone else? Now, I thought you knew things. In me, I thought you saw kings, not jokers with tender heartstrings to pluck and break for the sake of passing time. Now there was no turning back these clocks. Pandora's box unlocked and curiosity took stock. So with cupped palms, I bore this priceless love of mine, and despite how events unmasked, I had to ask, do you see glass? where I see diamonds. Thank you. So the second poem I wasn't gonna do because I do it a lot, but and I say this every time. It feels more relevant now than ever before. And I don't know about anyone else, but I'm angry and I'm watching what's going on in America and I'm really fucking angry. So this is called The Boy Who. To the boy who stole the part of me that wasn't up for grabs. Does your blueprint burn on my fingertips like your phantom touch that still strips and lingers on me? The aftermath of silent action. One which can't be unearthed, but believe me when I say it's birthed and growing inside of me. Unclothe us. Hold up UV lights, ignite forensics, and you still won't see our unhealed scars, but believe us when we say they're there. Invisible footprints track lining of skin. Still moving. Still crawling, still scratching and gnawing at the layers upon layers of invisible ink which scream me too as these words sink further to rest upon the other, older me toos in this endless cycle of silent scars. They're never ending. Wounds which weep and seep as other men, other boys, other sons who become fathers repeat and forget to correct. So to the boy who stole the part of me that wasn't up for grabs, are you happy? Did you find fulfillment in my stolen goods? In that part of me you broke? What did you gain at my expense? 'Cause I can't shake you off. Can't cleanse your invisible ink, branded with this emblazoned tattoo as you get to go through life unscathed, unnoticed, unmarked. Thank you. All right. I'm going to do one more. This is my favourite of... I'm sorry, my poetry is very grim. I need to start writing poems when I'm feeling happy and see what happens, because they're just a bit dead sad. So yeah, this one I think is very relatable and it's called Over. There was no dramatic fight. No smashed plates or clothes thrown from balconies. Our alchemy was always subtler than that. When you walked away, chose to end it all, I vowed never to chase your shadow. I let you go. And that's how I know it's not over for me. Look, I'm not naive. Allegedly, I handled our breakup respectfully. But I have to confess, I didn't exhale. There was no end of breath. When you left my arms, unfurled your grip, I clipped and sucked the last shared oxygen into my lungs. As the word goodbye tripped off my tongue, I knew Mum was a lie. You fired the gun. On me. On London. You said you were done. Packed your stuff, left your flat. Yet remnants lurk dormant in my home. Your basketball's still under the spare bed. Yearns to be playing on the courts like we said we would. There's a full sleeve of decaf coffee next to the fridge, and I still draw hearts on paper cups, the ones I stole from work, which erupt out under the sink every time I reach for a fresh Brita filter, the one I bought for you, because London water tastes like shampoo. Speaking of which, yours sits in the far right-hand corner of the shower, half full, half... gone. Yet plenty remains, it's not over. Did you wash away my perfume from that garment I sprayed before handing it back? Sneaky, I know. Do you still smell it like I inhale the pillow where your head used to rest? I wonder if you still press to your chest that Polaroid picture I planted in your purse. Has the breakup given you your life the purpose it needed? Do you ever wish that I pleaded for you to stay? Well, reread my last message. I left no full stop. A secret sign. An opening, a gaping hole filled with invisible ink, space enough for you to sink your words into our unfinished conversation. Look close enough and maybe you'll see what I see. Scribbled frantically, subconsciously, the phrase, come back to me. See? It's not over. I still sleep in the far nook of the big bed. I still wake from hearing your voice in my head, and I still reach, half forgetting, half remembering that you're not there. As I stretched to stroke your hair, the cold air declares it's over. Your side lies lifeless, hollow, mirroring the void in me. Did I say there's a drawer empty for you? Cleaned out my clothes. Said I was having a revamp. Really, I was just trying to mop up the damp you left in my soul since we departed. Your exit is still there. Marked, stained, ingrained in door handle. Look close, you'll see. The toast, your toast. I toasted your cinnamon raisin bagel, remember, smothered in butter. Sorry, no, not butter. Flora. Whatever it is still smudged by you, thumbed by you, yellow, sticky, greasy, like glue, thin, vertical lines, imposters of your real prints. Resorted to gazing at my distorted reflection in it. Blurry. A little bit wobbly now. That stain hints at our history. I don't dare clean it. That buttered blot, it's all I've really got, so I can't wash it. Plus, I know how much you like things clean, so I'll leave it for you to do on your return. They say there's no use locking door after horse has bolted. So I don't double lock anymore. 'Cause I'm absolutely sure it's not over. Thank you.